Hello, aloha, annyeonghaseyo. What up, doe? I am Gigi, Pastor Gigi with Life is Rated R podcast, and I am joined today by Mr. Robert Gayle, aka Chef Rob, aka The Chef. And we're going to let him talk to us today about what he does, why he does it, and what has driven his passion to become a chef.
Well, it's in the blood. I always wanted to cook. I was a greedy child growing up in Jamaica, West Indies, and we had no choice but to fight for our food, literally.
Fight for your food?
Yeah, yeah.
What do you mean fight for your food?
Well, if you want to eat, you got to go hunt your chicken every Sunday. You know, you have goats running around. But make sure you don't bother your neighbor's goat because in Jamaica you get killed for that. Seriously. So, I mean, where I grew up, it was plentiful. We had fruits, seafood, and whenever you're hungry, you just go out and you go find and make sure you're not impeding on anybody's property. But you literally had to, find ways to get food.
So who taught you how to cook? How did you learn how to cook?
Well, I have to credit my mom, of course, my older sister, Jackie. She's a dental hygienist in New York. And she gave me, like I was mentioning earlier, I was her sous chef back then when I didn't know what a sous chef is. And I'll explain that to you later. But I was the one that's running behind, picking up stuff and grabbing stuff.
Okay.
She would tell me, because I'm the younger brother, Robert, go get this, go get that, go get this. So I would assist her on getting product as she needed to cook. And she was only maybe 14 at the time, but she was the one that was cooking the meal for the whole family. Growing up where I grew up, you have to learn early because my mother was an entrepreneur. She worked in the country. She was a higgler when she sold goods, in Brownstown, Jamaica. And she was gone most of the time. So we had a nice house that one of our cousins, Liz, an older cousin, that really took care of us. And she just monitored us. It was five of us. And my mother had to go out and, make the bread for the household because she was a man and a woman of the house.
Okay. Where are you in the chain of five children?
I'm the fourth.
You're the fourth. Okay.
But the favorite.
We're going to ask Jackie about that, okay? If you're the favorite.
She's the second favorite.
She's the second favorite. Oh my gosh. So we got a first and a second favorite.
Oh, yeah.
So not only are you a successful restaurateur, entrepreneur, but the perfection of your skills has allowed you to be in the company and also the ability to not only open up your restaurant here in Sandy Springs,
correct,
but also I heard that you were integral in launching and assisting P. Diddy with his restaurant in New York and Atlanta.
You're so right. So I had a dream. I worked for
You
Sean.
like Dot and Martha Luther, the king.
Yeah, I had a dream. And when you come to this world as an immigrant, we all inspired to do bigger things. My mother, she only had an 8th grade education. And she brought us to Brooklyn, New York in July 6th of 1982. I remember that day. And she said, listen, I don't have much for you guys, but this is opportunity. So make the most of it. And I remember when I was going off to college, she told me, she said, listen, you guys are going to college. We don't know how it's going to get paid for, who's going to pay for it, but you're going to college, because that was her dream. So me and my sister, my other favorite sister, my other two sisters going to kill me, but we went to college and we got our degrees, and everything is beautiful. But she just said, listen, you have to make the most of it, to make her proud. And I think thus far I've made my mother proud. But I told her, I said, this is just a stepping stone of where I want to be. Of course, I want to leave a legacy for my two kids, which, is taking on the legacy, especially my son, Rod. And, just to be able to, in Jamaica, we say, big up yourself. Is to be able to big up the Jamaican community.
Big up yourself.
Yeah, big up yourself.
Big up yourself.
Yeah, it's just kind of, elevate yourself, to do bigger and better. Because sometimes, as, in the Jamaican community, sometimes we get a bad rap. So I want to be able to emphasize, good food and good quality service because of some of the folks that have helped me in the past. And also, Puff Daddy, so that goes back to my dream. When I started with him back in September of 97, I told myself, if I give this man 5 years of my time, hopefully he would bless me. And I would say, I want to open my own Caribbean restaurant chain. That's my biggest goal. Obviously, that didn't happen. A year or two later, he sent me to Atlanta to open up Justin's, and we opened that in January of 1999. So I did a 4.5, 5 year tenure with Justin's, New York and Atlanta, and then I decided, I got the education, I got my own drive, I have my own product line, everything that I want to do, and I want to have my own. My own. I don't want to have to punch the clock for anyone. So I jumped, and I had to grow my wings as I was coming down. And I think, 18 years later, I could, kind of pat myself on the back, because I led the troop on what I want to do. And, a couple of restaurants, they're paying attention and they're following my lead. So it's continuously growing, so it's not that I'm a success story. It's work is in the process.
You are a success story.
I'm still working.
Good success. Good success.
Thank you.
Your culinary expertise has afforded you the opportunity to have your dishes graced by the palates of Usher.
Yes.
The late Coretta Scott King.
Yes.
J-Lo.
Yes.
Let me see, who else was it? L.A. Reid.
Yes, definitely.
Pastor Gigi.
Yes. 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 Yes.
How has this impacted you being able to, I believe that everyone that comes through your door, we're treated like a celebrity, someone of a status or a stature. How has this impacted you knowing that these people that we've tasted your food?
Well, just growing up in New York City in my early 20s and being in Justin's on 21st between 5th and 6th, having Denzel Washington and, Mariah Carey at the restaurant, it was like normal.
Okay.
So coming to Atlanta a couple of years later, it's just like, wow, Atlanta wasn't much going on. So we brought Atlanta up, Justin's back on P Street. We brought Atlanta. And, that gave me the opportunity to say, you know what, after traveling to New York and Miami and cooking for L.A. Reid, I did a lot of that. And I said, you know what, the traveling back and forth, it was good money, but it wasn't consistent. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna open my own restaurant. So when y'all need to find me, I'm gonna be right here, 5920 Roswell Road. So instead of me running back and forth and trying to figure it out, I said I'm gonna settle in one location, and if they need me, I'm here. So I don't travel as much unless it's right. But
what do you mean by right?
The paper got to be right.
The paper got to be right. All right now, because you got to big up yourself.
Big up yourself.
Big up yourself, Mom.
Yeah. So so now I've been here going on 18 years, and it's been a beautiful struggle, and I love it. So I continue, to grow and elevate my staff, myself. I never settle, never get comfortable. So you just always got to find a better way of, elevating the people around you, because my plan is to, franchise in the near future.
I like that when you said you don't settle. I read a quote one day and it said, "We don't settle, we survive."
There you go.
And we're not only do we survive, we're successful. Correct. So I want you to always remember that people don't settle, dust does.
Exactly.
Dust does.
I love it.
So you and your son, is it Rob Jr.?
Rob the second.
Rob the second,
yeah.
Because you big up now.
Yeah.
Big up. So Rob the second, you two work together.
Exactly.
How is that relationship working on a daily basis with your son?
Well, my son, he's an introvert. And I was an introvert when I first started. Growing up in a big city, in New York City, where you around 8 million people, you get to kind of tune people out. But my son, he's very quiet. Still, to everyone, that's how he is. He got his his hard hat on, and he just focused. But I was the same way. Now I talk to the stop sign if I have to, because I have no choice. I have to be a politician. I'm shaking hands, I'm kissing babies, I'm feeding dogs. If you look out front, there's 2 dog bowls out there. So you have to be a politician. You got to know how to touch each person. And that's what I try to do. Well, I don't like to use that word trying. That's what I intend to do continuously. But more important is to teach my staff how to do that, whether I'm here or whether I'm not here. It's to still carry on the torch that I teach every day to you guys.
So when you say, you mentioned that you wanted to franchise, so will your son actually be in one of the other restaurants?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Okay. I mean, he's the, what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, I want to be able to leave a legacy.
He's a legacy carrier.
Yeah, so I want to be able to hand it to him and my daughter. She's in school right now. She's only 20 years old, but I want to be able to pass it on for them. And I have to be blessed because a lot of parents have kids and they don't take on the role of their
Yes.
family business. And I'm so happy, for my son to be able to say, I see what my dad's dream was, and to be able to say, well, I want to carry on. And, he get paid well. But
You put that out there.
yeah. But he does a great job, and I don't have to be here. I choose to be here as much as I want, but he know how to handle it. But I still have to take a lot of pressure on myself because whether it's good or bad, I got the target on my back. That's Chef Rob. So I take that in stride, and I love it because that keep me motivated, that keep me pushing, keep me saying, well, I can't just settle. I can't just say, okay, I made it to the mountaintop. No, because there's somebody else trying to get up there and knock you off. So I don't get comfortable.
When a person comes in the doors of Chef Rob,
Mhm.
what do you want them to experience?
Our experience is being back in the island. So visionary, when I look out there, that's my ocean. That parking lot, that's my ocean. So we want them to come and be in a comfortable, relaxed environment and just chill. We got the music going for them to get relaxed and just have good food and good service. So just give them that old ambiance of being on island vibe without island time.
What do you mean by island time?
Sometimes people go to Caribbean restaurant and they don't get their food and get their stuff on time.
Oh,
So
that's not here.
so they say you're on Jamaican time, and I don't like that. So I don't want to be that restaurant where people say, "Oh yeah, we was there for 45 minutes and never got service." When you walk through that door, you're gonna get 5 hellos. Hey, how you doing? Welcome
Yes.
in, Chef Rob. Dining or taking up. That's just how we operate. So we don't want to be known as a Jamaican restaurant. We want to be known as a restaurant. Period.
I like that because I noticed that your menu, it changes, you add things, and I love how your social media, because I can get off a plane and then I'll come in here because I came in because you had the lobster rolls on there.
Correct.
I literally saw it on the plane on the
Mhm.
Instagram
Correct.
and came from the airport here to get my lobster roll, and
Mhm.
it did not disappoint. You said something so key
Mhm.
from the door
Mhm.
till we get to our seat, whether it's I have taken out, I've ordered to take out.
Right.
From the door to my table, the
Right.
experience has been, even if someone is serving another table,
Right.
have you been served? Someone taking your order, and I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, it's
Mm.
just amazing. It's the customer service.
Correct.
And one thing I can say, I love how you said it's not just a Caribbean Jamaican restaurant,
Mm.
because I believe that if you treat people right, if you got the good service, I'm doing a Keith Lee.
Right. Exactly.
I'm doing a Keith Lee right here.
Right.
When you come into Chef Rob, I
Mhm.
don't feel that I'm a customer.
Right.
I'm a client.
Correct.
And there's a difference because a customer may come once or twice, but a
Right.
client is for life. To
Correct.
the point now, I have my own client table.
Right.
And I was like, did he tell them to give me the table? It's been 5 different people.
Right.
And I get the same table. And
Right.
it's so funny. I'm like, this is my same table.
Mhm.
And I just love it.
Mhm.
But it's just the customer service, the professionalism, the
Mhm.
excellence, and the food.
Mm.
It's a lot of food,
Mm-hmm.
but it is really good.
Thank you.
And what else do you have in here besides food?
Well, at one point we had the food truck, which I literally just sold about 3 months ago.
Okay.
I had the lounge next door, which I had for about 10 years. But I went through some challenges, sciatica. You could attest
Yes,
for
sir.
that. I was in a car accident about 2 years ago. You could attest for that
We're
also.
twinning here.
So, as we get older, we get wiser. COVID has taught us a lot, less is more. So as I was going through the COVID, transition, I said, well, why do we need to have all this space and we're not really using it?
Utilizing it. Mhm.
And throughout COVID, I started making a lot more money and paying off bills. And I'm like, why do I need all this extra space when I'm not using it? So, I consulted with my son and I said, listen, we're not going to go back to what we were doing. That's 14 years ago, 15. So I said, listen, we're going to stick to the hours and days that we're accustomed to doing, and it's been beautiful. So we have made necessary changes and adjustment, and I think it's paying dividends now.
Okay. So you said that you stick to the hours. Well, I got hooked on those oxtails,
Oh, okay.
and I had never had
Plantains.
plantain. I had never had
In
plantain
Jamaica,
before.
it's a plantain.
Plantain. I
Plantain.
never had plantain before.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd ordered some plantain
Mm-hmm.
and the appetizer.
Okay.
And I had the oxtails. I was just so excited for my oxtails. I really could have cared less about the plantain. But I tried one of the plantain and I have been addicted. Not good for my workout and everything.
Right.
But I've just been like a creature of habit. I want to get the same thing
Right.
every time. But there's so much on the menu that when you put a special out there, I want to try it. That's
Right.
just me. I want to try it. So I noticed in here, not only do you have the food, the ambiance is amazing. Or as the young folk would say, it's a vibe.
Oh, it's bussing.
It's bussing.
Right.
We're telling our age.
Right.
So, and I've noticed I've come in here when you first had the grand reopening.
Reopening, yes.
The grand reopening.
Yes.
I think we didn't get put out. You didn't put us out our
Right.
table. You didn't put us out.
Right.
But there was a DJ here.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I've been here when there's been a DJ.
Yes.
And I didn't know if it was because of me, special occasion. He played a few Kirk Franklin songs for me. I
Yes,
was
he sure
appreciative.
did. He sure did.
I was appreciative of that. So you're well-rounded with everything in here. There's a bar.
Yes.
And you have not hookah, but
Hookah.
hookah.
Yes.
Hookah.
It's called shisha.
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 I'm getting like a whole vocabulary
Yes. Shisha.
increase. I'm building
Yeah.
a walking dictionary by the time I leave out of here.
Yeah.
So you have a plethora of things that you do. Is there anything that you want to add that in the future, or
Well, you know,
because I know you said you took some stuff away, but right where you are, do you think you need to add anything?
well, I think
I'm good. but,
overall, I like to, cater to everyone. I call it a one-stop shop.
Okay.
Well, it was a one-stop shop because I had the restaurant, I had the catering, I had the food truck, I had the lounge. But as we get older, we get wiser. Let's take 2 off the board and we're just gonna work on 2. But the long term is to be able to have a franchise where now we have the fast casual, then we have the casual, and then we have the USDA kitchen that's gonna take care of the 2 concepts. So in the long term, and that's coming in the near future, just kind of putting it out there. But, again, that's the longevity of, my retirement down the road. Not that I'm retiring anytime soon, but I want to be able to put that out there, so we could really just expand the Caribbean brand, not just locally, but globally.
Globally.
Yeah, globally.
So
yeah.
we're going to take this thing on the world.
That's the plan. That's
That's big dreams.
Yeah.
So
And let me enter it.
Go
Part
ahead.
of me going to one of the best culinary schools, CIA, and I was a graduate of June of 1993. And just wanted to add that I was the only Black in my whole entire graduation class. And I graduated with perfect attendance. So a lot of my staff, they don't know that, but that's what drive me. Like, I'm very militant in how I run and operate my business. I'm very particular about business and how business is supposed to be ran. You're putting systems in place and you monitor the system and not employees, because it's hard to train people. So you have to put systems and monitor the system. So, I have to credit CIA, which is Culinary Institute of America. They taught me a lot. When I was at school, I was 19 years old. Didn't know what I wanted to do. My girlfriend at the time was pregnant with my son, which he's 31 right now. And I told myself, I said, listen, my child is not going to be a burden on society. So no matter what I have to do, I'm going to do it right now. And I made sure that I was in class every single day because them classes was expensive. And that's why I was able to finish up with perfect attendance and graduate with honors. And it was a couple of months ago in June, I literally went back up to CIA in Hyde Park, Poughkeepsie, New York, for the first time in 30 years since I graduated. And the campus is beautiful.
Wow.
Absolutely beautiful.
Now that's perseverance.
Yes.
That is perseverance.
It wasn't easy, but
it was worth it.
it was worth it.
It was
Yeah,
worth it.
was
And
definitely
you're
worth
seeing
it.
the dividends now.
Oh yeah, most
Or
definitely.
as the young folks say, you got receipts.
Yeah, exactly.
You got receipts. You got receipts.
I just learned that one today.
You got receipts.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? You just knew bussing?
Bussing. All right. I didn't know that.
So I met you via the gym, by way of the gym.
Yes.
And it's so funny because I was like, I've never seen him in the gym. But they
Right.
were like, yeah, he goes to the gym. I'm like, because I'm so focused on my workout. If you
Right.
were to walk right past me, I promise you, not that you're not memorable,
Right.
but I'm so focused that I wouldn't have known you. So
Right.
we came here for the grand reopening.
Correct.
And so they said, yeah, he goes to the gym.
Mhm.
So how important is it for you to be physically fit and you're around all of this food? How are you incorporating your physical fitness with your nutrition?
Well, for me personally, I take it personally because again, I tell people I'm the new age chef. Because a lot of time, I might come to a table and they ask for the chef and they looking for, a guy that's just overweight.
Overweight.
I'm not at the weight where I want to be right now, but I make sure I go to the gym 3, 4 days out of the week, and I got a Credit Rock Fitness, which is right around the corner. And I just eat in moderation. I drink in moderation. I do everything in moderation, because it's important as we get older. We got to be much wiser about what we put in our body. Because I'm cooking a lot of the food, I'm not primarily eating the food. I'm tasting as I go. But I try to eat as healthy as possible. Taking in my carbs, taking in my protein, taking in my veg. Drinking my water. So just trying to stay as health conscious as possible because I have another 30 years to go, and I want to be able to enjoy myself.
Be able to enjoy yourself in your retirement.
Yes.
There is actually there's a meal
Mhm.
on the menu here.
Yes.
That's a fitness meal.
Yes, it is.
And so what all does that entail?
Well, we have incorporated a rock meal, which includes 2 3-ounce chicken breasts. That's what it says, but that's not what it really is. Jasmine rice, steamed broccoli, and sauteed spinach.
Okay.
So you have a choice of either salmon or chicken breast. And we don't add no salt, but it's seasoned well. So if you're looking for something that's going to be real tasty, that's not what it is. You could get the oxtail or the curry chicken or everything else. But if you're really training, that's what you want to eat.
Yeah, so you don't want to get the crab cakes.
You can get
You
the
want to
crab
get the
cake.
crab
Yeah,
cakes
yeah,
now.
yeah, you get the crab cake, but I won't say anything. But part of the rock meal is to be able to get those meals if you're really into cutting and trimming. And we have a lot of the client. Thank you, Rock and Gina, for sending your clients over there. But it helps because a lot of time in our busy days and schedule, we don't have time to cook and prepare and so let Chef Rob do it. So it's just easy. And then they also get a bottle of water. Chef Rob bottle of water, by the way. So spring water, by the way. So that really helps, with people with busy schedules. So you rock train them and I feed them.
I like that.
Mhm.
Mr. Rock trains them and Mr. Rob,
Feed them.
he feed them. All right now. All right.
Mhm.
And I'm going to come eat them after I train.
There you go.
Yeah. What advice, because you said at 19 years old,
Yes.
you went to
CIA.
CIA.
Correct.
And what does that stand for? Culinary?
Culinary Institute of America.
Culinary. So
Yes.
you went to CIA.
Correct.
What would 19-year-old Rob, what would you tell 19-year-old Rob now? What would you tell 19-year-old Rob?
Stay persistent. Keep focused. Have a goal of where you want to go. Put your blinders on. There's a lot of influences now with social media. Back then, there was no social media. We had beepers, your cell phone. So, tell you my age. So now it's way different. So, and I think I see it in my son, even though he's a newer generation, but everything that I've done thus far, he mimicked a lot of stuff that I've done. He got his own ways of how he want to do stuff. And I contribute a lot of what he has been doing, especially like with all the social media stuff that's going on. I credit him and, some of the ladies that works here for us. But just stay focused. My mother was a beast, and I remember in New York, we was one of my uncle that got in some trouble and we went downtown Brooklyn to get him out of jail. And my grandmother, strong Jamaican woman, and she said in her Jamaican dialect, "Don't call my house if you go to jail." And my mother, she reiterated the same exact thing. She said, "Don't call my house either." So at 13 years old, I told myself, I said, I can't go to jail because they're not going to come get me. And then years later, my mother moved to the Bronx and she used to see the barge going over to Rikers Island. But in a Jamaican way, she called it Rockers Island.
Oh.
So it's called Rikers Island. That's where a lot of the trouble people go. So she said, she see that boat going over, that barge going over to Rockers Island. And she said, listen, don't Don't call my house. So I had to tell myself. And then there was another movie called Scared Straight on HBO. And that shit scared me. It scared me straight. And I told myself, because I just know I am. I don't want to be contained. I don't want to be confined. I'm gonna lose it. And I told myself, that can't be me. So I just told myself I can never be incarcerated. And to this day, I have never been in handcuffs. I've never been incarcerated.
I'm so proud of you.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm so proud of you. They'd have had you cooking.
Yeah.
Okay, so someone that is trying to become a chef, what would you tell them to do? I know you said you were persistent, and your persistence led to your consistency. What would you tell someone that wants to be a chef?
They need to apprentice under someone. You know, it's not all about the money. Go in and go work for free. That's what I did. When I was in high school in East Flatbush, the last 6 months of high school, I believe it was the first or the last, I can't remember, I went to work in Manhattan. I didn't go to school. I went to work every day. And it was called La Hosteria Fiorello. It was an Italian restaurant on 61st Avenue. And I went to work every day. And it taught me, you know, how to be a chef. And I remember there was an old Italian guy, and I was in the kitchen and I was making tomato concasse. And he came, I'm 17 years old. He comes in and he's looking around, and I'm working for free now, you know, 6-7 hours a day. Now, just for free. And he said, Robert, in his Italian, well, what are you doing? I said, I'm making tomato concasse. And he looks around, he's like, there's no pot of boiling water. There's no ice bath. There's nothing. So he said, listen, this is what you need to do. So as I'm scoring the tomatoes, because the basic thing, you score the tomatoes, you put them in the hot water, then you take them from the hot water, you put them in an ice bath, and then you take them from the ice bath, and then you put them in on a sheet pan, and then you peel the tomato skin off. Then you take out the seeds, and then you dice it up. So we do everything from scratch. So I'm working backwards, you know, in his eye, and I'm working for free. So basically, he telling me, listen.
We got the free part now.
Yeah. So basically, he telling me, you know, and there's a terminology, mise en place. It's a French terminology, and it's pretty much have your stuff in order. And while you cutting, scoring the tomatoes, have your pot already boiling, have your ice bath already chilling, have your sheet pan ready. So all you have to do is take from here, 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 and here. And to this day, I practice that so much that sometimes I get ahead of myself. Like when I'm in the kitchen, I'm doing 4 or 5 things at the same time. I might tell you, Pastor Gigi, I need you to do this. And before you got to do it, I already did it because I know how to work. I work fast and I work diligently. And I like to work by myself, if that makes any sense. Okay. Because
you scared me when you said for Pastor Gigi to do that. Yeah. You know, I don't cook.
Oh, well, we're going to get back there later on. Yeah, I got an apron for you. Yeah, we're going to get back there.
I'm already praying in the spirit. I'm already praying in the spirit. But we're going to do some rapid fire.
Okay.
And rapid fire is where I just ask you some questions. You give me some easy things back. Car or truck?
Both. Why not?
Cake or cookies with ice cream for dessert?
Cookies.
Cookies. What kind?
Chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip.
Yes.
Favorite ice cream?
Vanilla bean.
Vanilla bean. Okay, you're so specific. Okay, Paris or Hawaii?
Hawaii.
Hawaii?
Of course.
Okay, you taking me?
Yeah. You already there.
Got me a trap. Okay, summer or winter?
Summer.
Why?
I'm an island boy.
You're island boy. Okay, I thought you might like doing it. What is your favorite dish to cook?
Every day.
You got to give me at least one.
I'm a chef.
Give me one.
Oxtails.
Oxtails,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
And you do those very well.
Yes.
Very well.
Yeah.
Can you teach anyone to cook? Answer that think about that very, very closely.
Yeah. Teach it. Cooking is a passion. If it ain't right here, don't do it. Because it's a passion. Because days I come in and I'm tired, coming from the gym, get my rock tear me apart. But it's a passion. If you don't feel it right here, don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, because I see a lot of people, they open up restaurants, grand opening, grand closing. There's days that you have to sacrifice years. Like when I opened this restaurant in 2006, the first 2 years, I didn't make no money. And if I made money, I'm going to put it back into business. Because like Jay-Z say, I'm not a businessman. I'm the business man.
Well, Jeezy said, "Scared money
It don't
don't make no money."
money.
We about to go on
Hello?
tour with Jeezy.
Damn right.
You
Yeah.
gonna cook for us? I'm just messing
Let's
with you.
do it.
You gonna
Let's
cook
do it.
for
I
us?
go on
Okay.
tour.
Electric or gas car?
Electric.
I already know the answer. What kind?
Tesla.
A Tesla. Okay, got a Tesla. You're trying to convince me to get a Tesla. We're gonna see if they're gonna send me one. Okay. Is there anything that you would like to say to the people? Because you declared them down, you're gonna get me in that kitchen.
Mhm.
So we're gonna make it happen.
Yes.
We're not making any promises.
Right. We're gonna do something real simple.
We're gonna do something real simple,
Yeah, yeah.
like what?
Panacea crab cake. That's simple. I already got it kind of set up already.
You already got it kinda set up?
Yeah. It ain't gonna be too rough.
Okay. You know, crab cakes from here is one of my favorite from you.
I know that, Ginger.
Oh.
I got you.
Yes.
Mm.
Well, is there anything that you would want someone to know about you that we don't know?
I think
This is rated R, but
I think just being humble. Don't let Atlanta got a lot of celebrities. And are so-called celebrity. But for me, what keep me grounded is staying humble. Staying within your craft. Don't let the lights and the glamour and the money take you off course. Because I've seen it all. I've seen people build you up, but as soon as they build you up, they can tear you down apart. So I just stay humble to my craft. Try to be diligent to everyone that come in. Hello, how you doing? I am very militant. I'm about my business, but you can't let people get too close to you because, again, you don't never know who's around you. So just stay, diligent to your craft and staying focused and watching everything that goes on around you. So
Well, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed my time with you. We're going to see if this cooking thing's going to work out, and I have the faith that it is. I'm so appreciative of that you have a battle rhythm.
Yes.
You never served in the military,
right.
but you have a battle rhythm. I always tell my team that we need to get in a battle rhythm because it makes things run smoothly. And this is a well-oiled team, not
Yes.
machine,
Yeah.
that you have here. And I can see that they respect you and they love what they do. They
You know
really
what?
love what they do.
My plan was to go to the military,
Really?
but when
What branch? Hold on.
Army,
Okay, you got the right one.
because
Okay.
my favorite Uncle Tony, he was an Army, and my sister Sandra, she was an Army. But when I went to go get my paperwork, wasn't in order, so that forced me to go to culinary school because my friend Gary, another Jamaican guy, he's a pastor in New York, and he was my competition. So everything between me and him was a race. Everything was a competition. So I decided, well, I don't know what to do. So I said, I'm gonna go to culinary school just to compete with him. And he graduated. He only missed one day because his father passed away in Jamaica.
Okay.
And I said, you know what? I'm gonna get him. And that forces me. I mean, everything between me and him was a competition. And it was good competition. So he inspired me still to this day.
So, well, you have a nice platoon going on here.
Mhm.
It is. You have a nice platoon here. I just love the ambiance here.
Mhm.
What are your hours here at Chef Rob's?
We're open 6 days a week. We close on Mondays.
You said that 6 really good because I came here one day from Monday to eat and it was closed.
I know, and they
Mhm.
shake down that door all day. That's why I stretched that 6. We open from 12 noon to 9, Monday through Thursday. On Fridays and Saturday, we open at 12 until we go till maybe like 1 o'clock, depending on what the crowd is looking like.
In the morning?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm good at sleep, but
Yeah, but on the
10.
door it said until. So
Say
if
until.
y'all turn up, we're gonna keep it going. The DJ gonna keep it going. But yeah. But when we had the lounge, you used to go to like 3 o'clock.
I was good at sleep.
Yeah. So, I'm getting there right now. So I'm like 3 o'clock. The days is over.
We thank God for Rob the second.
Yeah.
What about your social media? How can we get a hold of you? How can they follow and see when you're dropping the next best plate, the next best thing here at Chef Rob's?
Well, everyone, with this IG, the TikTok, if you ain't ticking and talking, you in trouble. I know just over the last 2 weeks, and I thank Atlanta, everyone that have came out and supported. I know I've been beating the streets and doing a lot of stuff myself, and I must give credit to my son and Courtney and Ariel. They've been doing a lot of social media stuff, chefrobscafe.com, and that will really lead to all the social media handles. And, these new generation, they just know how to, get on there and find out what's popping at that time. And they get to it. We've been we've been blessed over the last year since the relaunch of the restaurant, and I really appreciate it of you and everyone that's supported the brand so far.
Okay. Well, my prayer for you, and you're on my prayer list, is declare that because you want to see these franchises happen, and I want to be there to see these franchises happen, to sample a meal,
Yes.
but also to see you have success. I continue to pray that God will give you long life, will He satisfy you,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
that you can continue to bless the people with this amazing cuisine, because it is delicious.
Thank
It's
you.
delicious, and we thank goodness for Rock Fit
Yeah.
Atlanta, so we can make sure that we're getting this off of us.
Right.
But thank you so much for all that you're doing. And ladies and gentlemen, this was a treat today. If you're ever in the Sandy Springs, in the Atlanta area at all, make sure that you stop by Chef Rob. You will not be disappointed. Just don't come on Monday, because you will be disappointed. But Tuesday through Sunday, you can make sure that you come in here and you will be treated with excellence. The customer service is impeccable, and the food is just top tier. So I need you to do 3 things for me: like, share, and follow Life is Rated R podcast. We're streaming on all social media platforms. So until we see you again, thanks for joining me on Life is Rated R with Pastor Gigi. Holla at your girl.